challenging week this week with Washington State coming in here. Very good football team. Falk, their quarterback, leads the conference in passing. He leads the conference in touchdown passes. He leads the conference in total offense. They've got 3 receivers that are in the top 6 in receptions in our conference. So a really good team. And then I think that they're playing good defense. I think their front 4 is extremely good, active, big, physical. So it's going to be a great challenge for us, and we're looking forward to it. We had a good practice this morning. We're on our way. So that's kind of it.
What does having Caleb at guard and Colton at tackle do for the offensive line that wouldn't be there in a different combination?
We're just always trying to get the best 5 out there, and right now Colton's playing at a high level. When he got those opportunities to go in, he's played very, very well, and so we're always just trying to find the best matchups out there. And right now that's the best matchups for us. And Caleb has that versatility where he can play outside and he can play inside. So him having that versatility allows us to make some changes like that. And they're subtle. He's staying on the right side, so not a lot's changing for him, but he's done it. He's played guard, he's played tackle. So, regardless of who's in there, whether Kenny's in there, I feel like, we've got 6 and probably 7, because I'd call Freddie the Perry a guy that I think can go in and start. We've got 7 guys that I feel really comfortable with playing. It's a good deal for us finally to have him.
Does Colton bring a unique skill set in terms of his athleticism? Jake was talking about that yesterday.
Well, he's tall, but he can really bend. He's got tremendous ankle flexibility. I know this sounds silly. He can bend his knees. He can get low. He's got tremendous lateral movement. For a young guy, the things that are really impressed about him is his knowledge of the offense and his study habits and his work habits. He's really a guy that's determined to be great, and you see it every day in the way he studies film and the way that he comes out here and he practices, and then he comes up to the office before everyone else, and he's watching practice right away, and you see it reflected in the way he's playing.
How difficult is it to find offensive tackles compared to finding interior guys?
Well, it's hard if you want the right type of tackle, which, typically your tackles are longer guys, taller, longer arms. They still have to have athleticism. And then, I relate them a little bit to cornerbacks. They have to have a certain sense of athletic arrogance because they're protecting, probably the most valuable commodity on the field, which is your quarterback. And they're typically in one-on-one situations. And so they have to have a real mental toughness to them. And I think that Caleb has that. I'm sorry, I think Caleb has it, but I think Colton has it as well.
So you can move some cornerbacks to tackle?
No, you think about the position a lot. Every pass you're going backwards, just like you're doing at corner. At corner, you're protecting the end zone. At tackle, you're protecting the quarterback. There's very rarely anyone outside of you or over the top of you. So it's just kind of an isolated position. You have to have a certain skill set and a certain mindset to play that position effectively, those positions effectively.
All schemes are different, but playing against Cal a few weeks ago, how does that air raid type of offense, how does that help prepare you for Washington State?
They're different, but they're similar in that they're going to go fast, they're going to spread the field. They both got really good quarterbacks that understand their system and where to go with the football. The route concepts, are different. There's always going to be similarity in route concepts. There's only so many things that you can do. I just think it helps us having gone recently against a team like that and having played well against them. I think it gives us a little confidence in what we're doing. And so we'll see. But every game's a different challenge. And, these guys, Mike Leach is, I've been able to spend a whole lot of time with him at media days and coaches conferences. And the guy is incredibly bright, and he has a great feel for what he wants to do on offense. He seems to be a guy that has answers, and now that he's got an offensive line that's really good, he's got a quarterback that understands his system, he's got veteran receivers, he's got running backs, it's kind of working for him now. He's got more pieces in place, and they've been doing the same thing over and over, so you really see tremendous production, tremendous execution.
He was a guy that was kind of doing all this stuff like Rich Rod before a lot of people.
Let me just say this about that kind of stuff is it's just a big copycat world in coaching. I was at San Francisco with Bill Walsh, who, a lot of people credited with creating the West Coast offense, and certainly he took it to a new level. But one day a guy walked into my office who was one of the original owners of the San Francisco 49ers, and he brought me a folder from the origins, from right at the start of the San Francisco 49ers becoming an organization, and it had a bunch of plays in there that were on that old mimeograph stuff. I still have it in my office, as a matter of fact. And there was probably 15 to 16 pass plays in there that were called West Coast offense pass plays now that everyone runs. And I don't even remember the guy's name. He was an Italian guy. He was one of the original owners of the 49ers, but maybe he created the West Coast offense. So, there's only so many things you can do on a football field.
He seemed a guy though that really kind of pushed. Was a guy pushing tempo.
Yeah, I don't know, because at that point in my career I was in the NFL and I really wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to what they were doing in college. So I wouldn't be able to comment on who started it and what he did. I don't know what Mike Leach used to do. I didn't. I was, like I said, my focus was on the team that I was getting ready to play in the NFL, not on what was happening in college. The only time I looked at college film was when I was studying players. So you're studying plays, not schemes.
The point is, I guess I was getting at that he has been doing this a long time. He's got a scheme perfected that seems to be easier when you want to implement it at a new school.
Okay, if that's what you want to say, you said it. If you said it, I didn't. Let's make sure that we know that Chris said it. I didn't say it. So no quotes around me saying that.
I don't see where this is controversial.
It's not controversial. You're trying to put words in my mouth. I'm not going to let you. And I gave you an answer. I didn't pay attention to him when I was in the NFL. That's my answer. I don't know how more clear I can be. Can I be more clear? Thank you. That's not controversial. Just so everybody knows, I love Chris Foster. We have a tremendous relationship. You don't have to worry about it. We badger each other all the time. You know why he wears red? San Clemente High School. There's no reason he can't wear red out here if he's repping San Clemente. So when we badger each other, nobody worry. We love each other. There you have it.
I'll send
He's a smart ass, but I still like him.
I'll send you a check
Sometimes. All right. Thank you.